This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Today I want to talk about a topic that most people do know about. I've covered it before, but I don't have a specific video on it. But it's important for everybody to understand just why the things that are happening to children are happening to children and how they're going to start normalizing this. Now, we've heard from all these cases that have happened with children, from McMartin to you name the case. It always ends up with a story about drinking blood, drinking a child's blood, drinking the blood of animals. The reason for this isn't so much that they love the taste of it, although I'm sure these sick freaks do. The reason behind it is that they get a high from drinking the blood, and that is from what is known as adrenochrome. And it's a chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline in the blood. Now, this for them is like the elixir, like the magic potion. They believe that through drinking this that they get youth and more youthful through drinking the blood of a child. They believe that it will help them look better, live longer, and they also get a high off of it, unlike any high apparently that any normal drug would give somebody. Something like 10 times as crazy as LSD would be. A trip like that where these people completely get euphoria, derealization, thought disorder. And again, when they do this at these rituals that they have, when they all get together and they perform these rituals, a lot of the times they'll already be high on this. And this is just another way for them in their own mind. They don't even remember doing some of these acts on children. They forget, but they do it. And this has been documented before. And I'm going to show you a clip from the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Now, this is a movie starring Johnny Depp about Hunter S. Thompson. Hunter S. Thompson, as I've covered many times, close friend with Marilyn Manson, Johnny Depp. Guy was a millionaire who's, anytime you could see an interview with him, you could see him drinking, doing drugs. But in this movie, the character tries adrenochrome. And you could see, I've cut it up, you can see him, you'll see his reaction as he puts a little bit on his tongue, because you don't need a lot of this. And this is from the blood of a child. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a child, but remember what I told you about Aleister Crowley and how he talks about the blood sacrifice and how it's important to come from a child, specifically a young male. And you'll see him and the guy in the room tripping on it. You'll see, of course, they have the black and white Masonic esoteric nonsense, the checkerboard on the wall. What a surprise, right? What a coincidence that that's there during this scene. And this is more of them revealing themselves. But you'll see him get high on it, and you'll see him talk about how this is from a human body. This is a real thing. And you're also going to see him say, where did you get it from? And he mentions that he got it from a Satanist who was convicted of abusing children. Right? So you think these things are a coincidence? Of course they're not. Now, Hunter S. Thompson even went on to say things such as the adrenaline glands from a living human body, it's no good if you get it out of a corpse. So what they do is they put these children through trauma-based mind control. They'll dress up, they'll scare them, they'll abuse them, they'll taser them, they'll lock them inside of cages. This is what they do to children, these monsters, these sick, disgusting freaks. They do this stuff to children so that the children are put through so much trauma that when they commit the sacrifice, the adrenaline, from their glands is giving off a high amount of this substance, so that they can get even higher off of it. Because the more trauma that the person's put through, the more effect that this drug is going to have on them, and the more euphoria that they're going to feel. So, take a look at this clip.
Never mind, it's absolutely pure.
What kind of monster client have you hooked up with this time?
Satanism freak. Satanism freak. Satanism freak.
Adrenaline gland from a living human body. Adrenaline gland from a living human body.
I know. The guy didn't have any cash to pay me. He offered me human blood, said it would take me higher than I'd ever been in my life. Thought he was kidding. So I told him I'd just as soon have an ounce or so of pure adrenochrome. Or maybe just a fresh adrenaline gland. Child molester. He swore he didn't do it. Why should I fuck with children, he said. They're too small. Satanism freak. Child molester. He swore he didn't do it. Why should I fuck with children, he said. They're too small.
And again, you can't make this stuff up. They're always revealing themselves, right? Always revealing themselves in these movies, showing you this stuff. And people see this and they glorify it. They think it's like, oh, yeah, like, just like Johnny Depp in the movie Blow, and it was like glorifying, the drug game and dealing drugs and doing drugs and stuff like this. This is what's next to come, this with this adrenochrome. And you could even see that there's a movie trailer out, about these people who are on it, and they're just tripping, and they're Satanists, and they're murdering people, right? I mean, connect all the dots with the stuff that they show us, with the purge, with the civil unrest that they have, okay? And then think about how they've disguised, drugs, and people automatically, when they hear about drugs and narcotics, they think of meth and coke and all that kind of stuff. But nobody's ever heard of this drug before. You know why? Because this is the big secret. This is what the elites are into. This is what your politicians, your celebrities, your CEOs of corporations, this is what they're into. They receive energy from this. They do this while performing black magic rituals, and they don't care that it comes at the expense of a child. They don't care about that at all because they're not human. These people are not human. And all that they want is everlasting life on earth, which they're not going to get. You see, they believe that they can defy God and that they're going to win on Judgment Day, and that what matters most is what we do here on this earth, where we know what happens here. This isn't the life that we're all living for. People like me, I'm just trying to help wake people up who are lost, because we're in the toughest time period to be alive, because the mind control is so insanely deep that so many people are being led astray and led away from Jesus Christ, who is the only way to salvation. The only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ, but everybody's misled by all of this through mind control. But these people don't care. These people want to live longer. Think about the agendas they push on TV, right? Transhumanism, right? Never dying, living longer. That's why you always see them pushing amputees. It's preparing people, right? Oh, a metal leg or a metal arm, and superheroes and transhumanism. It's getting everybody prepared for this type of mindset, right? And then, of course, the mindset that they have to never age. I mean, look at some of these people in Hollywood. Has anyone seen Wayne Newton recently? I mean, the guy looks like he got, run over a few times and smashed in the face with a bat. And this guy thinks he looks good. But these people get, Botox and all these things done to themselves because they don't want to age. But this is one of the secrets that they use. And it's important for people to know this. I know it's hard to hear. Trust me, I know it's hard to stomach. I try not to go too deep into this topic when I talk about the kidnappings and the abuse, because it's too heartbreaking to talk about, knowing that this is what they do it for. Because people just automatically think that this is just about some type of sexual perversion, and it's not. Now, do they do these acts? Yeah, these sexual acts, of course they do. They do those things, as a part of sex magic and the black magic that they perform. But the end game after all of that, they don't just say, oh, we're just going to, get rid of the kid because we just don't, what if the kid goes and tells on us? That's not the point. They put them through all of this trauma so that they can get the adrenochrome and they can get that drug and get that high that they so much want. So I can't, this is stuff that they're probably selling on the black market. This is one of the reasons, too, you see so many kidnappings and stuff like that, because it doesn't mean, that just like a Rothschild's going to grab a kid and go up into the mountains somewhere. There's low-level people who are providing this for other people. And this is really scary. And this is why this never gets talked about. But I'm sure this video probably will get a strike or probably get taken down, because these are the types of truths that they don't want out there. These are the things that matter most. Okay? Because, every day when we're, I'm talking about, other people are talking about it, you're talking about it, there's different ways to wake people up, of course. You're not going to wake somebody up and just go, hey, have you heard about adrenochrome? And they're going to go, oh, what is it? Oh, well, they take a baby and they do this to the baby and they put them through all this trauma and they taser them and then they kill them just so they can have this drug. I mean, everyone with their heads would explode. They wouldn't be able to grasp it. That's why I started, signs and symbols and repetition and showing people that stuff so they can start understanding. But people need to be aware of this. People need to realize this is why it's hush-hush. This is why on the news they're never going to talk about this stuff. They're never going to talk about what happens to these bodies. and what they do to these children, and this type of drug that they believe that they have, which again gives them this type of, euphoric, they drift into fantasy land. You could see Johnny Depp in that scene, how he was acting and how the other guy was acting. These are true accounts. The guy wasn't just writing his book going, hey, I'm going to make this thing up about an adrenaline gland in the brain, and, then they're going to get it from a Satanist and drink it. No, it's truth in plain sight. Okay? And then, of course, when he's asked about it, he's like, oh, no, we didn't really do that, Of course he says that. But they're all doing it. They're all buddy-buddy, and this is their big secret. So share this video with people. Make people aware of this, that this is why they target children. And we need to get the word out just so more and more, parents are aware of this stuff so that they can keep a better eye on their children and who they're around. Because for me, this is about protecting the children and waking up the youth out there. That's what this is about. Because they're the last hope of defense, the next line that's coming through, because they're going to be dealing with this worse than us. You think about how difficult it is for us on a day-to-day basis, it's going to be harder for them. So keep them in your prayers and keep all these children in your prayers. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.